Simple interest is nothing more than a quick method of calculating interest on a loan. So what does that mean to a 7th or 8th grade kid? You don't have a loan for banks, right? Well, it's something that you've got to learn because you're going to eventually have a loan for a car or a house or school or something that you really want that you don't have enough money for at the time. So I'm going to show you how we need to know how to multiply. We need to know how to change a percent to a decimal. And we need to know how to solve equations as well. And as long as we have those three skills, we should be okay with solving simple interest problems. First one says Jessica has $40 in a savings account. $40 is what we call our principal. It's what she's starting with. So that goes into our formula on the right-hand side of the equation because we're going to get our interest by multiplying the principal times the rate, which is our percent that we're going to change to a decimal, and then we multiply by time, and we measure time in years. If it's 1 year, the number would be 1 that we put in there. If it was a year and a half, we would put 1.5, so on and so forth. So the next thing I see is the interest rate is 5% per year. I need to change what 5% looks like because we can't multiply by percents. So I put it into my graphic organizer here, and I'm going to realize that 5% is 0.05 as a decimal. So I stick that in, and then I put the time. We're only going to put this in for 1 year. This is going to give us our interest. I use I for my variable. So there's nothing that we have to do really to solve this except multiply. And I'm going to punch this all into my calculator using parentheses. All right, using the calculator is actually a skill that we've got to work on. In parentheses next to each other, we know means to multiply. So $40 as our principal times 0.05. This thing likes to double tap on me. Times 1. Close parentheses and let's see what we get. We get an answer of 2. So the interest that we've made in a year is 2. It says, though, how much will she have in 1 year? So we got to be careful with that. We want the total. Total is going to be equal to our interest plus what our principal was. So our interest was $2, our principal was $40, and so we're going to end up with a total equaling $42. First one done. I'm going to move quick through the next two so we can move on and try these out ourselves. Our principal, Austin's got $80 in savings account. It's going to earn 10% interest. 10% as a decimal is going to be 0.1 or 0.10. So that's my rate. And the time that we're going to keep this in for is 2 years. So again, we're going to figure out what the interest is, and then we'll figure out how much he'll actually have in 2 years. Let's go back to my calculator. And let's see if we've got, if we take 80 and we multiply it times 0.10, and we multiply that by the years that we're going to keep it in, we end up with an answer of 16. So our interest is going to be $16. That is not going to give us what we need, though. We need to know how much are we going to have after 2 years. We want the principal plus the interest. That should give us our total. Our principal is $80, our interest is 16. When we add those two numbers together, we're going to get a total of $96. It's pretty simple for simple interest, huh? Last one. Bigger numbers, different percentage. $40,000 in a savings account. She's going to earn an interest rate of 0.06. 6% as a decimal, when we change that, is going to be 0.06. 0.06. So I fill that in for my rate, and it's going to be 1 year. This question a little different, though. We've got to make sure that we kind of decipher what are they actually asking for, and they're asking how much interest will she earn in 1 year. So they only want the interest this time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to multiply 40,000 times our rate of 0.06 times the time in years. And we see that in 1 year, she's going to earn $2,400 in interest.